Let him do. Rabbi said before we start Musar, I want that we have Chashviges. Let's do one kayol for the Chavre. They're going to do one song for you before you hit the road. Maskim, Aryeh?
Let's sit down.
Then we'll start Musar. Yechiel, then I want you to hear Musar right after the song. You'll hear. Baruch you too. I want to learn a pasuk in Parashas Lech Lecha, this past week's parasha. I want to learn a pasuk together with the Gemara Nedarim, and yes, I think it will have a big maila. Yosef, I really want Avi. I want you to hear this. Yankov, I want the Chevra. Shloim, I want to study something I think will have impact. The pasuk is a pasuk in Parashas Lech Lecha. And Avram Avinu Vayishma Avram Kinish Ba'achiv. Jackie, I want you to hear this. Avram Avinu hears that his brother was captured. Lot is Avram's brother. It's his brother's kid. Interesting. He sees Kinish Pa'achiv. Rashi read tells it wasn't his brother. It was his brother's kid. Rashi says. Says his brother means his brother's kid. Calls him his brother. Interesting. But he hears his brother's kid, Kinish Ba'achiv, his brother's captured. Vayorek es chanichav. I want to talk about those words. What does it mean, Vayorek es chanichav? Let's translate those words. Avram Avinu hears that his brother's kid, that Lot was captured. He's Vayorek es chanichav yelidei beisa shmayna asar shleish meyos. 318 men. Vayir Devadan. He comes to yeshiva. He says, "We're fighting a war. We're going to fight. We're going to get back." Like Eli, what's Vayarek es Chanichav? Comes the Gemara Nedarim, and the Gemara Nedarim Daf Lamed Beis, Daf 32 Leiv, and the Gemara Nedarim has two pshat in what it means Vayarek es Chanichav. Says the Gemara. Vayarek es chanichav yelidei beisai. Rav Amar shayrikan b'Torah. He filled them up with Torah. Rashi says harikan zirzon b'Torah. He was mizaris them. He gave a shmooze about limadat Torah. Vayarek es chanichav. That's funny. He's coming into Yeshiva Yankov, and he's telling his Talmidim we're going to fight a war. What does he do? He gives a zirus, he gives a geschmack, a shmooze about limadat Torah. Vayarek is zirzaran, he's mizares them in Torah, Yechiel. He gives a shmooze about limadat Torah. And then he brings them to go fight a war. What did he just do? Avram Avinu came to Yeshiva, and he gives Nachi a zirzaran b'Torah. Vayarek es chanichav, the lashon that he fired them up. He was mizaris them. He gave a shmooze about Torah. Zir zeram b'Torah. That's what Rav says it means. Picture the scene. Avram Avinu, a very odd day, Yehuda. He came to yeshiva one day, and instead Pashtus, normally he came and he said shir. Avram Avinu. The Rebbe came to yeshiva and he said shir. One day, Avram Avinu comes to yeshiva. He says, "There's no shir today. Chevra, come. We're going to fight a war." He throws guns to all the Talmidim. He gives a cactus MP. What are these things called? These big guns, small guns. He's handing out guns, and he says, "Chevra, come. We're going to fight." Says Rav, "Vayorek es chanichav." Says Rav, "Harikam b'Torah." He armed them with Torah. He gave like a shmooze about limadat Torah. What's happening, Jackie? I thought they're fighting a war. What does he go when he gives a zirus on limadat Torah, zirzaram b'Torah? What's happening? He's fighting a war. So, what the simplest thing to say, Shloima, and it's a truth what I'm about to say, I don't know pshat. I have no monopoly on pshat. I'm telling you what Rav learned pshat in the pasuk in Chumash. That Avram Avinu comes to yeshiva. He says, "Chevra, we're going to fight a war today." Here, he hands out knives, whatever they fought with. Handed out the equipment of war. But says Rav, "Harikam b'Torah." He was mizaris them in Torah. What's happening that he gave a ziris in Torah? So I would like to express, and this is a truth, Yichel, I promise it's true, that Torah is Megan on Am Yisrael. That's Pashat. The Gemara in Bracha says that Torah, Am Yisrael learning Torah protects Klal Yisrael. Torah is a Megan, it's a Haganah, it's a protection of Klal Yisrael. And Avram Avinu, fascinatingly, when he went to fight a war, to have zechuyos, and one of the things he did is he was Mizayris es Chevron Limadat Torah. Of course, there's a shtadlus to fight a war, Yechiel. They were going to shoot guns and battle. Avram Avinu's nephew was captured. He's going to fight a war. But as part of the shtadlus of wars, he was mizaris them in Torah. He said, let's learn. Let's be mechazik and limud Torah. And just very simply, that there's a hagana, there's a protection as well of learning Torah. And a yid always has to know this, that limud Torah is this. Limud Torah is a hagana for Klal Yisrael. It's a Gemara in Gittin. The Gemara said, Hashkein v'harb lebeis hamedrash ve'in kolamei lehen. It's a Gemara in Gittin that the schus of Limud Torah helps a person's enemies get vanquished. It's actually before in the Siddur that way, because we daven every single day at the end of Shemon Esrei. We say to Hashem, we say, Psach libi b'sayrasecha, open up my heart in Torah. And the next thing we say is, Kol ha'choshvim alai ra. Whoever thinks bad, meheira hafer atzasam, thwart their plans. So Torah is Megan. Torah protects Klal Yisrael. It's a truth, Yechiel. It's an absolute truth that Torah protects Klal Yisrael, protects us. And our father Avram, upon entering the Beis Medrash and saying we're going to fight a war, he's mizaris them in Torah. He's mechazik and strengthens limud Torah. Understand in Eretz Yisrael till today that limud Torah protects Klal Yisrael. Of course, there's an army, and Avram fights with his chevra. Of course, there's a shtadlus that's pashut. But remember, Torah also is Megan. We need both. And Avram Avinu, before he fights a war, he zeers around b'Torah. He's mezaris Torah, because when we're about to fight a war, we need Torah, and he's mechazik limud Torah. So I want to share that, but I want to learn the second pshat, and this is really the first pshat's important, but I would like to learn Shmuel. Shmuel Amar, listen to this. This is fascinating. Shmuel Amar sharik on bizav. He gave out gold. Says Shmuel, Avram Avinu's army is about to fight. Avram Avinu loaded up his chevra with gold. Now, Pashup Pshat, most people learn this Gemara, is he bribed them to fight. He paid them to fight. Mercenaries, hired mercenaries. Avram Avinu comes to Yeshiva. He's fired up to fight for light. But for his Talmidim, he says, chevra, he gives everybody gold. Avram Avinu is a wealthy man, and Harikam B'Zav, he fills everybody up with gold. He's giving out gold. That's the simple pshat in the Gemara. I have many questions on the simple pshat. My simplest questions, they would tell me of Avram. They already, if my Rebbe came in, chevra, said we're going to fight, I'm grabbing the gun and I'm fighting behind my Rebbe. I can't picture he needed to pay us. And what's the Torah saying that? It's speaking about the Talmidim. What's happening here? Avram Avinu is about to fight a war. He had to pay off his Talmidim. The simplest question I can ask you is, Mechatei said they needed money, and what's the Torah? It's ripping his Talmidim. They wouldn't do it unless they were paid. Eliyahu, what were you saying?
Money helped you fight a war. No one's going.
He was paying them to fight. So Eliyahu said, any guy, there's certain things a mercenary, but Eliyahu was skeptical. If they were afraid, they were risking their lives. So he paid them off to risk their lives. Yetz Yibad, what is Shmuel saying? I'm going to tell you a pshat that I think's pshat. I think it's emes. You ever figured out Shmuel? I was zoiche to learn this with my tata, this Gemara. What is pshat? Harikan B'Zav, he gave out gold. Josh, you ever had a pshat in Shmuel? Shmuel says, it's funny, it's funny. I like a shtickle vitz, Rav Ezra will appreciate. Who do we paskin like Rav Shmuel Chevra and Shas? We paskin like Rav and Isser Veheter and Shmuel and money. I have like a shtickle vitz. Shmuel says he gave money, like Slachar and Mammon, we paskin like Shmuel. But okay, no, that's a shtickle joke. But Lemaisa, Shmuel says he handed out cash. How do you learn this pasuk according to Shmuel, Yehuda? I want to tell you what I think pshat is, Mechi. Please focus, Chevra. Nachi, I think you'll gain from this. What, pray tell, is happening? Chili, both Yechils. What's happening here? Avram Avinu's about to fight a war, and he comes to Yeshiva and tells his Talmidim, Chevra, today instead of shir for the next few months, we're going to fight. What does the Torah say? Vayorik es chanichav. He gives out money, gives out cash. He arms them with money, gives them all cash. I want to tell you like the standard Pshat Eli, but then I want to tell you what Kalish thinks. What's happening? What's going on here? On Rav says that he was Mizarez them on Torah. He made a chizuk on Torah. I understand. He's telling them, makes a lot of sense. I know we're fighting, and it's going to be important battles. Understand Ruchni Esteke Shtadlus. He was Mizarez, Limerat Torah, because Torah is Megan. Rav, I understand. Shmuel, Yechiel, I'm struggling. He gave out cash. Why is the Torah recording this CD? He paid them all to fight. Now, I want to be honest, Nachi. I like honesty in Torah. Really study Torah. Try to get pshat real. So, Dovi, I want to be honest that one of the things my mind goes is the tzidkus of Avram. Avram wants to fight as tzidkus deke cheshboinus. For his chevra, they're not mechoyev to his tzidkus, so he pays them. Avram says, I want to pay you for your efforts. So you could say it's the tzidkus of Avram. There's room to say that. He says, I want to pay you guys to fight. I'm not like, I'm coming, I want to fight. For the Talmidim, I'm going to pay you to do this. Like Eliyahu said, I'm very skeptical, that pshat. David, I'm very skeptical. He's paying them to fight. The tzidkus of Avram, first of all, they don't want to do it. It doesn't help paying. They're afraid for their life, like paying them up. What's happening here? What is this money he gives out? So clearly, the standard pshat is that Avram Avinu's worried. He's worried. War has the most danger. Fighting a war has tremendous danger of immorality, and I want to explain it, Jackie, for a few reasons. First of all, you're exposed. You're out there. You're going to see new cultures. They're going to fight. There's 4 kings who've captured 5 kings. In general, there's the most immorality in armies. It's before many of you were that conscious. In like the early 90s, there was a controversy that rocked America. There was tremendous immorality in the American army. In armies, there's a lot of immorality. There are reasons for it. When people fighting, they become very physical and very animalistic. And there's a lot of immorality in armies. It's something a person has to be wary of, especially conquest, especially here. They're going to come in touch with some really bad people. They're going to also gain a lot of wealth and land. They're fighting wars. Avram Avinu fights and expect Bez Hashem. He has a lot of bitachon. He's going to win. Avram Avinu's worried his Talmidim are going to get corrupted, and he hands them cash. They should be rich. They shouldn't desire the kesef of other people and the gold. So everybody got a lot of money. Avram Avinu goes to his Talmidim and he gives out. He's given out hundreds. He's given out thousands. He's given out millions. You're so sweet. He's given out, thank you. He's giving out money. He wants his Talmidim to be rich. Nachi, they shouldn't have temptations. Yehuda, that's how many learn Pshat. So Avram Avinu, before he fights, Vayorik es chanichav, he gives out gold. I'll tell you what hits me, Dovi. I'll tell you what hits me. I'll tell you how I understand Pshat here. See, I'll ask my kasha, Jackie. If people have money, do they tend not to want more money? Yehuda, Avram Avinu's worried his Talmidim are going to crave wealth. So he gives them money, that solves it. If you have 100, you want 200. If you have 200, you want 400. So he gives them money, now they're not going to crave money? What's going on here? Aaron, I want to tell you something that I want to give you a charge for the rest of your life. I want to charge you the rest of your life. I want this to be a charge. Please listen to me, Aaron. I'm coming. My father's yahrzeit is this Friday, Shabbos Kodesh. Friday Shabbos is my father's yahrzeit. I'm having the I'm finding myself over the year, early things are hitting you very raw. And obviously, I've spent the year thinking a lot about my father, talking about him and thinking about him. I have spent the year with my dad. One of the greatest gifts my father gave me, I'm saying this not having thought about this a lot. One of the greatest gifts my father gave me, and it's something I want to bench. Aaron, I want you to give your children. I want you to give this to yourself and your children, Yosef. And I can't be more thankful to my father. I see guys who grow up with the sense that other people have it good. In that school, by those, they're having fun. My father handed us that we felt lucky. Ashreinu matayv chalkeinu. We felt lucky. We felt rich. We felt very blessed. There wasn't the sense of those people. A person could do this in an external fake way. Give your kids good trips. My father took us on trips, played ball with us. That's an external sense, but that's like a trick. The real thing is that he himself felt and was present to the great richness of being a Yid. It was not a forced chill. It wasn't something, it was a sense. We're fortunate. He lived like that. He was very v'semcha that he's a Yid. And he gave that over to us. We felt lucky to be a Yid. We didn't feel deprived or those people are having. And I want to express that the world of Avram Avinu, it's very scary. He comes into his yeshiva. They're all in the safe, protective yeshiva of Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu says, Chevra, we're going out there. I know the safetiness of yeshiva. You're coming to fight now. It's a dangerous world out there. And we're fighting some really bad guys you're going to be in contact with. And Vayarik es Chanichav as he filled them up with gold. And what I suspect is the mission of Avram Avinu's yeshiva is every single one of his Talmidim and his children felt very rich. And there wasn't a worry out there, oh my goodness, what's going to happen out there? They're rich kids. They knew they had the goods. I very much suspect that Vayarik es Chanichav was his whole mantra of teaching Torah. This is the first place it speaks about chinuch. Chanichav is the people entrusted to be mechanech. Vayarik es Chanichav, he made them rich. The people, I think that line about Avram Avinu, Shema, you'll ask, Avram, you're bringing your yeshiva there? You're crazy? What happened to the sheltered place of Avram Avinu? Avram Avinu was very sheltered. Reb Miller, Aaron, speaks about that Avram Avinu led a nomadic experience. He was disconnected from society in many ways. He traveled. He didn't have one place. He had his own base, Avram, and he did that not to be impacted by people. And all of a sudden, you're coming. I can imagine the parent body of Avram Avinu's yeshiva. You're bringing my kid where? To fight a war? You entered the whole yeshiva in the army? They're going to become fray. I can imagine the parent body in Avram Avinu's yeshiva is like, Mishari, you're bringing the whole place to the army? Crazy. They're all going to go off the derech. Avram Avinu took his whole yeshiva. We're going to fight. The craziest thing, you're bringing them to bad people, to Steindach. They're going to mamish interact and conquest. They're going to be heroes. Azad danger, guns and fighting. And Avram Avinu's yeshiva that remains so separate. Yehuda, and I want to say, that's a good question also, Jackie. That's true. Avram Avinu had bitachon, he'd win, he was a great warrior. You're right. But Yehuda, Avram Avinu brings his yeshiva to fight, and the Torah says 3 words, he filled them up with gold. Vayarik es Chanichav, his Talmidim were filled with gold. I think that's a charge for your life. I think that's a charge, Nachi, that the people entrusted feel wealthy. If you want to know about Avram Avinu's Talmidim, you know why they were safe? They were all filthy rich. Yehuda Shulman's going to have Azah home. You're going to be scared. My kids are going to go there. You're not going to be scared. Your kids are going to be filthy rich. And if there's a need and a pressure and it has to be and a called by Hashem to do something, you're nervous. Vayarik is chanichav. Your kids are going to be billionaires. It's like a joke. You have a Shabbos Suda with your kids. You're having Yom Tovim. You're close, spending time, absorbing. You have a sukkahs together. You're going to build a sukkah together. I've sat with my kid in the sukkah. You think, what am I afraid of out there? Explain to me. You serious? That thing, you serious? Avram Avinu's Talmidim experienced life with Avram. Vayarik es chanichav. He made them billionaires. They were filthy rich. Bazai Avram Avinu's Talmidim. Come, he said, come fight. Vayir defadon, come fight. So I want to suggest. Now, somebody could ask on me, I like the truth, Yehuda. Somebody could ask, it sounds like he did this now. Vayarkas Chanichav sounds like an act that he did now. The way I'm understanding it, Eli, is this was a general Vayarkas Chanichav. This was his attitude. His Talmidim were rich. It's Naigeya now. Yehuda, the way I'm claiming it was Naigeya now, Vayarkas Chanichav. It wasn't what he did this second. Oh, we're going to fight. I'll quickly give them money. Vayarkas Chanichav is what Avram Avinu always did. It is said now because he had given them millions. He'd given millions. You're worried. In a world where people are poor, there's always the threat of being impacted by other things. Person feels, what do I have? Dovi be'ezus Hashem, it's like a charge in chinuch. Vayarkas Chanichav. Make sure you're all the people you're in charge be mechanech are like filthy wealthy. Now, when I say this, it's not like a trick. So make sure you do nice trips. My father was a father. It wasn't like, I don't believe that my father was like a technique. He took us on trips, because otherwise they're not going to be from, I don't think it was a technique. He was a father. Father takes his kid on trips because I love them, because he's a Baal Chesed, because of that he's unleashing Chesed. It's not like if you don't do trips, they might not be from. Come on, please. You take your kids' place because you're their tata, because where else is chesed in the world? That's the chesed. You take your kids' places, you're with your kids, you do with your kids because you have a heart, because you're a father. In a world where a dad acts like a dad, in a world somebody's close to Hashem, somebody who's in Avram Avinu, who do you think the main recipients of his chesed was? Think he was like tough on his kids and like chesed elsewhere? The ikar chesed was to the people he was entrusted to care for. Vayarikas chanichav, the people he was in charge with were filthy rich. He said, come, let's fight some wars. You think he was like frightened? Oh, they're going to be impacted? Not rich. I assure you, if he handed out gold bars and hundreds of dollars, and it wasn't the chenuch, if we have the goods, it wouldn't help. They'd be impacted out there. But Vayarkas Chanichav is a world of those entrusted having and being taken care of and being loaded and coming with a lot. That was the Metzius by Beis Avram. It was safe. Perhaps that's what Shmuel's saying, Harikam Bezav, that he filled them up with gold. That's what I want to suggest, that Yehuda. I think it's a charge for every mechanech. I think there's a charge for every parent. I don't like spend tremendous time, what the title of each year is, but what I'm saying to you is raise rich children. I'm begging the guys. Make sure, and I say it's not, if you want chitzonis, meres apnimius, you want to it's not a trick. It's not like some trick, geschmack. I'm saying that in honest life, a Beis Avram, such as the Metzias. And I could say on my father's home, I don't think it was like a trick to get us to be from. I could say on a Torah-dika person, somebody who's following the Avram model, you have rich kids. If a person's not checking their midas and doing averis, the kids are poor, it's dangerous. Take them here. Oh, they're going to become not. What's going to be? Avram Avinu's house, Harikam B'Kesef. Harikam B'Zav, they were loaded. His kids were loaded. Mamish billionaires. You could picture Shlomo. I like this Pshat Shmuel. I ever told you this Pshat Shlomo? I like that I learned this Gemara with my father. Shmuel, Daf Lev. This is like Min Alev, El Alev, from Daf Lev in the Dharm. It says Harikam B'Zav. Zach, you hear the charge? One day you'll do it. That's the base Avram. Vayorik is Chanicha. His Chanicha were mamish loaded. Pesach, so Shabbos, Suda, zusammen, you're sitting in Ava, you're loaded up. Vayorik is Chanicha. They were loaded. Right, Russ? Are you buying? To me, this is pshat. I think the handing out the dollar bills is less pshat. The way I see it, that's like real. That's not pshat. It's not emistic pshat. And now it says he handed out gold. Say Chazal are teaching you something. That's how I understand how to learn Torah. My only kasher I rest that it sounds like he did it now, but I think it's relevant now. Right. If you have a kasher, he's taking them places. Vayargas Chanichav, understand this is what he always did. That's. It says the words are he handed out a lot of money. Harikam bezav. He had filled them all up with gold. Dovi pshat. What do you hold? I like it.
Talk. Don't be talk.
I like it a lot also.
We want to hear you.
He likes it. He's saying real. Jack, you ask him.
Is your yeshiva?
And the kids are rich. A rich kid. He's not a danger. He can bring them. I'm not saying to take them anywhere. I'm saying that it becomes safe. It's a kasha. Avram Avinu brings them. Harikam bezav. What do you mean? It's really, you hear the pshat? It says that Avram Avinu vayorik es chanicha. Shmuel says harikam bezav. He gave out gold and then he took them to fight. What's happening? What's being said here? I think what made it safe to fight is his chanicha. The people entrusted by him were so rich. They had gotten so much. They were loaded. It made it safe. I don't know if it means just Pashup Shad. He was handing out dollar bills. I asked the Kashav, he just gave them money, so they shouldn't be impacted. So if you have 100, you want 200. Is it really enough? I think Harika and Bezav was an attitude. They were loaded, his Talmidim. Bazai wasn't the fear to bring them places. Yes? Yishmael was a tzaddik and Yitzchak. The only two kids I knew about were very big tzaddikim. Do you know about a different one? It says Yishmael did tshuva. He was chayzer b'tshuva. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvarim. L'chaim, l'chaim, Aaron.
L'chaim. What just happened? How long just happened?
When did you do tshuva?
What?
When did Yishmael do tshuva?
We can handle Yishmael's a sugya. Yishmael's a sugya. Yishmael's a sugya. It's amazing to learn these parshas. When Sari Menu sends away Yishmael, I'm like, oh, so. Like we're living, I imagine Yidden Fedairis, like learn Sarah, send Yishmael, it's like a shmak and cheder, like they're learning. And I imagine Yidden when the Christians were beating up the Yidden, and when the Arabs were like our like friendly neighbor. They're learning, and then he said Yishmael, Geshmak. They told the neighbor, Mahmad, you heard? They said Yishmael. They both laughed together. Today we learn this parsha, we're like shaking Sarah, please, every year, please don't send them away this year. Like, okay. The price was, this is a sugya, this is not this is our sugya, this is the sugya. My sense when we deal with Yishmael is that things, you could feel it, they'll kill themselves to fight us. You're dealing with something so not from this world. I've been listening to the interviews of the hostages and hearing about Yishmael. It's not from this world. It's like this. It's Gzeir min hashamayim. The nafkamin is you're talking about very heavenly stuff more than ever. Learn Torah, tefillah. The enemy is people who pray, who give up their lives to fight. It's like it's crazy stuff, Avi. It's from there. It's shamayim dik. Our task, we have to learn and daven, and there is a shtadlus. I admit to the shtadlus. It's very heavenly stuff. So when Yosef and Aaron like innocently start asking about Yishmael and Yishmael's journey, Yishmael's tshuva and his averes, It's like it's not a detached sugya. It's our sugya. It's my sugya. It's your sugya. It's what's going on. Trust me, we have to learn this sugya Yishmael like very carefully, very very carefully. The sugya Yishmael, what Yishmael is, what Yishmael does, what Yishmael's role is. Complicated sugya. It's the guy who was in the house and sent out of the house, and he's in the house. He prays. He's in the house. They're maminim b'Hashem, but they were sent out. It's a sugya. Yishmael's a sugya, but that's not the sugya we're learning right now. We're learning Beis Avram. Well, it's talking about the people in the Beis Avram, not the ones who aren't in the Beis Avram. Yitzchak's in the Beis Avram. One of the Gemara's pshatim, this is a very sensitive pshat, and I want to share this with the chevra. I want to share this with the guys and talk about something for a minute. This is very sensitive. Please, everybody, listen well. We don't invent sins of the Avos. Avram Avinu is way beyond my comprehension. So I hear sometimes a person today say, well, Avram, you see, Avram was thinking, and they're start putting themselves, what's that called? Projection? What projection? Like what they would think, putting it on Avram. I was zeichet to meet tzaddikim. I met Reb Chaim Brim. A tzaddik was beyond my comprehension. Reb Chaim Brim would tell us about the Chazon Ish. Reb Chaim Brim said the Chazon Ish was beyond his comprehension. The Chazon Ish would talk about Kiv Eger. Kiv Eger was way beyond that. I jumped a couple of years. The Kiv Eger. You go back to the Rashba, go back to David HaMelech, go back to Avram. You and I only could say what Chazal teach us about Avram. His thoughts were exceedingly lofty, Avram Avinu. Now we still study Avram, and it impacts our life, but with a lot of gentle care. Whenever we don't make up our own sins, Yehud, about Avram Avinu, we study what the Torah says. The Gemara in Nedarim tells us one sin of Avram. We're studying the pasuk Vayarik es Chanichav. So I'd like to, Jackie, tell you one sin of Avram Avinu. I say this with trepidation. Chazal say Avram Avinu sinned, Yehuda. I want to try to understand the Chazal. What was his sin? We just studied the pasuk Vayarik es Chanichav. We said the pshat of Rav, Harikam b'Torah. He was mizaris them to learn Torah. We have the pshat of Shmuel that he made them filthy rich. Harikam b'Zav. Two pshat. The Gemara says a pshat, and this I want to share with the chevra. The Gemara says, Reb Avo, Reb Lazar. Reb Avo says in the name of Reb Lazar, listen to this, Mardcha. Why was Avram Avinu punished? Why was Avram Avinu punished that his kids had shibud Mitzrayim for 210 years? Now, first of all, what happens to his kids is called a punishment to Avram, because we're part and we're connected. Bra kara davoin. What happens to us is called happening. To Avram, we're a piece of Avram. We come from him. Why was Avram Avinu punished that his kids were mishubed in Mitzrayim 210 years? Why? And he was told in Parashas Lech Lecha by the Bris Ben Absarim, Va'avadim ve'inu oisam, your kids are going to be tortured. Why did Avram Avinu go through that, Yechiel? Says the Gemara, Mipnei sha'asa angarya b'talmud chacham, because he made Talmid Chachamim do labor. Shenemar Vayarik es Chanichav Yelidei Beisai. Rashi says, Sha'ilicham l'mulchama, like it says, Vayarik es Chanichav Dainu b'nei Adam shechinech l'Torah. Kids who were meant to learn Torah, he brought them to war. Oh, wow. Anybody who knows what's going on in Eretz Yisrael, I'm very not a political guy. I love all Yidden. Says the Gemara, you know why we were punished for Shibud Mitzrayim? Sha'as Angarya b'Talmidei Chachamim. He took kids who were supposed to sit and learn Torah and he brought them to war.
Just went there.
Tovi, I'm not trying. Avram Avinu was punished. Vayarik es chanichav. He armed his students. He took them to fight. There's a third pshat in Vayarik es chanichav. We have a pshat. He was mezaris them in Torah, Rav. We have Shmuel that he was filled them up. They were filthy rich. We have a third pshat. Amr of Avo, Amr of Elazar, that Vayarik es chanichav is he armed them, and he was punished because kids who were mechonech l'Torah, who were supposed to learn Torah, they were designated to learn Torah. He schlepped them out to the battlefield. This is why we went to Mitzrayim for 210 years. I'm reading a Gemara Nedarim, Lamed Beis. I'm telling you a Gemara Nedarim. I'm not trying to get political with anybody. I believe we need people to fight, and believe we need people to learn Torah. But don't ever scoff when Gedolim are telling us that some kids have to learn and not go fight. Understand that the Gemara Nedarim says we were punished with Shibud Mitzrayim. Is Avram Avinu was criticized that he took kids that were mechonech l'Torah and he brought them to fight. He was punished, Avram. Vayarik es chanichav. He armed kids who were mechonech l'Torah. They're supposed to learn Torah. They're designated to learn Torah. Their job is not to fight. I'm not coming to say and be any political. How do we decide? And I'm saying something that in Eretz Yisrael people believe. You didn't believe? We believe Torah. And Avada, we need an army, and we need people learning Torah. And I'm not saying how to pick, how to choose, how to decide. These are real shilas. I am saying to understand these are real things. The Chanichav was set aside to learn Torah. And Avram Avinu brought them to fight. He was criticized. Vayarik es chanichav. Those are mechonech l'Torah. She'asa and Garya b'talmidei chachamim. You took people who were designated to fight, to learn Torah. They were designated. They were chanichav. They were mechonech l'Torah. The lashon of the Ran is da'inu b'dam shechinech l'Torah. They were youngsters who were mechonech l'Torah, and he was punished that he made Angaria, that he took them away from that which they were designated for. I'm zero getting political. In Eretz Yisrael, had to decide who goes where. These are for people a lot bigger than me. I'm only trying to learn Torah. And just reading a Gemara Nedarim Lamed Beis, that the Gemara says Avram was criticized. Kids, they were the Torah learners. You brought them to fight. You picked the wrong ones. Avram Avinu was criticized. We went 210 years in Mitzrayim because Avram Avinu, Asan Garyab, Talmidei Chacham, he took kids that were mechonech to Torah, that were designated to learn Torah, and he brought them to Mitzrayim. I once read on a different way, Aaron, of seeing this. And I don't want to when you get to I have to speak this out, Akiva, that when we talk Avram Avinu's sins, we have to be very, very careful. It's dak min adak, subtle and a drip, but Chazal criticize something. So we said a pshat that kids that are designated to learn, don't pull them to other tasks and activities. We said I want to express, and I once read, and I have no monopoly on the Gemara. The Gemara says, Sha'asa and Garyab Talmidei Chacham. I once saw that Avram Avinu, there was some knock. These were Avram Avinu's Talmidim, but there was a knock. He wasn't mechabed his Talmidim. He asked them a task that was beneath their dignity. It's interesting. The Rambam says that a Rebbe has to be mechabed his Talmidim. You sound very liberal when you say this, because of course a Talmud has to be mechabed his Rebbe. But the Rambam in Perek Hey Halacha Yud Gimel, the Rambam Perek Hey Halacha Yud Gimel of Talmud Torah says a Rebbe is mechoyev lechabed his Talmidim, to respect his Talmidim. Real. The Rambam writes this. Avram Avinu was punished in some way. There was a pigam on the respect for his Talmidim. I have seen very special Rebbeim who won't say to a Talmud, coffee. It's not respect. Now, I'm not saying every Rebbe who does this a cash on him. Maybe he holds that there's a mitzvah. You could ask. Avram Avinu was punished al sha'asa and Garyah b'Talmidei Chacham. There was some pigam in the covet of the Talmud. He told the Talmud, come, Chevra, we're going to go. I think it's very important. I have seen this, and I would advise any person, even you ask some of the Talmidim, do it with them. I've seen cases, clean up the business. But for him it's fine, not for you. Now there is something called a Rebbe, but be careful. Even if it's your charges, be careful. Rabbi Yerucham speaks to Rebbeim not to speak Lashon Hara on people he's charged. Sometimes you have charges, you could be arrogant and not be makbid on Lashon Hara, the ones you're speaking about. Sometimes you have charges and there are people you have a task you're taking care of. You have to be careful with their dignity. Avram Avinu was punished. There was some pigam in the kavod of his Talmidim that he came in when he said, "Chevra, let's go here. Come, we're going to fight." Now, what it would look like? I have it sad that Shmuel, who says to pay them in some way, was a certain respect. Chevra, there was like a certain respect in some way. I don't know. But there's a Pagam Yehud that fascinates me. If you learn, again, the first pshat we said, Al Sha'asangar B'Talmid Chacham, is they were meant to learn, and you took them to fight. Just you took them away. The Lashon, the Ran sounds that way. The Lashon Gemara doesn't sound like the Ran. The Ran says, Shaylicha l'milchama, dahainu b'nam shechinich l'Torah. It sounds a little to me in the Ran that he's saying that they're supposed to learn, not to fight. The Lashon of the Gemara, Sha'asan Garya b'Talmud Chacham, is you gave a menial task to a Talmud Chacham. Could be the problem is itself, you took them away from Torah. Could be the Pigam is you weren't mechabed them. Don't you say, maybe clean up. Is it the covet of the Talmud? Is that Lefik Faidai? I have seen Rebbeim be very, very makbid on the covet of Talmud. I'll give an example. I want to give an example. You have to be very, very careful. Very careful. A Rebbe's talking to a Talmud. I've seen this. You have to be very careful. I am not here. A Rebbe's talking to a Talmud. I've seen things like this. And another Rebbe comes over. Now, I'm not a liberal person. He's older, he's a Rebbe fellow, but I have seen Talmidim run over. I've seen it. Like the Talmud. I've seen the Talmud get run over. When another Rebbe comes over, Rebbe, Talmud.
We got it.
And another Rebbe walks over and says, like go away, buddy, to Rebbeim now. Yeah. The Talmud says, now, I'm not saying the Rebbe's not first. I'm not a liberal and there's orders. I am saying be careful with somebody's covet. I have seen big tzaddikim say, do you mind for a minute? And handle and maybe even tell, I'm not saying what to do. And maybe you tell the Rebbe, I'm in the middle now, we talk later. The Rebbe might come first. You have to handle. One thing for sure, don't run over the Talmud. I mean the same thing. Chanichav. Don't run over the person. Don't flick away. Chanichav is the people. Now, I'm not being a liberal. There's kedimos, and the Rebbe might have a kedima. Just be careful. Don't run over somebody. And one of the reasons we were punished is Sha'as Sangarya b'Talmid Chacham. A Talmud Chacham was cheapened. When a Talmud Chacham, it's his Talmidim. Be careful. So they're your Talmidim. Be careful. So they're your charges. So they're your children. Be careful with somebody's covet. Now, I always sound dangerous when I say this, because I want to say the kids have to be careful with the Rebbe's covet. The kids have to be careful with their parents. So you go around telling parents to be mechabed their children, you sound like a freak. Now, I'm aware that the ikar is Talmidim should be mechabed their parents and children mechabed their parents, of course. But to create a world of kavod, it starts by parents and rebbeim. We're raising youngsters, so let's raise people capable of being mechabed. Let's create a world of honor. So there's all different honors that have to exist. I'm not trying to be liberal, I just want to be emistic. I want to keep the Torah. And of course, kabed sevicha v'asimecha, the state be mechabed your parents. And of course, es Hashem lekecha tira, es l'rabbis talmid chacham. It also is a halacha that a Rebbe has to be mechabed his talmidim. The Rebbe who's mechabed his talmidim produces talmidim that are mechabed their parents, mechabed their rebbeim. They create an environment of kavod. Be very careful with the dignity of another person. Very. I would advise. There's so many scenarios. That's specific. You know the scenario. Am I talking your language? You know the scenario I'm talking, Aryeh? Another Rebbe, because of that scene, I've seen it play out in all different ways. You know the scene I'm describing? Ellie, you get the scene? I have seen it come out in ways where a guy's a bug. The Talmud walks away, he's just been steamrolled. You know, what's the Zamboni at the hockey game? They steamrolled the ice. I've seen the Talmud, he's mamish flattened. He was bugified. It was like flicked. He was steamrolled. Make sure somebody's covered. So there's ways to say, do you mind for a minute, the Rebbe said, there are ways to do it in ways that the kid's not steamrolled. Arya, you know what I talk, Ellie? It's a very important sugya. It's an important sugya. Yankov, you've seen this and you've seen that. I think it's just important not to run over anybody. Now, it doesn't mean that not to say next. Okay, we do have something. He's a Rebbe. Doesn't mean, but it means nobody's steamrolled. I don't know if it's a good idea to steamroll people. Avi, what says you?
It was not very responsive today. Could the Rebbe tell
Right, Russ.
Could the Rebbe tell us how Vayarig es Chanit, how it teaches? What's the drasha?
So now, Chevra, let's chaz. We have 3 pshatim, Chevra. Vayarig, it's amazing a pasuk in the Torah how rich we can become. Talk about our Rikam Bezav, we became rich. Amazing, 3 words in the Torah. Aaron Avram Avinu comes to fight a war. We have 3 pshatim in the Dharam. Each pshat makes us richer. Each pshat got us richer. Maskim Jackie. We have 1 pshat that Avram Avinu gave Azira's Torah. We explain that, even though fighting and they're doing ishtadlus, understand Torah is Megan. We have a 2nd pshat is he made them wealthy. We have a 3rd pshat is there is a punishment by Yarkas Chanichav. He armed. He gave weapons to Chanichav, to the people who were mechunach l'Torah. He had them fight. Now that pshat, what? He did it for a reason, Jackie, 100%, and it's only a dak min a dak. It's a subtle sin. There was some amount. He shouldn't have been so quick to do it. He should have found different soldiers.
Ayarik means to arm?
Yes, according to that pshat, it means to arm. Ayarik as Chanicha means he armed them, gave out weapons. So, and that pshat, we have 2 pshatim in that pshat, Yehuda. We have 1 pshat that they were meant to learn not to fight. We have another pshat. It was a b'zayin of their cover to say, Chevra, you're going to fight. He told the big Talmid Chacham. Right, Russ, how do you learn this Gemara Sha'asa and Gariya b'Talmid Chacham? Is the problem that Talmid Chacham should learn not to do other things, or it's a pigam in the covered? That's the 2 pshatim we're saying. 1 is Tam, they're supposed to learn, not fight. 1 is Sha'asa and Gariya b'Talmid Chacham, is there was some bezayin to their covered.
Were there those learning as a
Oynish, a ta'ichet, yes. He says, they man nena shavram avinu.
That's before Bavo?
That's what Bavo says, pshat. Bavo says pshat. It's the 3rd before Rab and Shmuel. 3 pshat.
Oh.
What the chet is the chet, for sure it's a chet, is the chet that they should have been learning, not fighting, or stam, it was like degrading.
I made a call, bro. Stand up.
It was a degrading to them. The Talmid Chacham like the degrading, not the element of the bittul Torah. The bittul of the person. The lashon of the Gemara, right, says she'asan gariya b'Talmid Chacham. It sounds like you did something to the Talmud Chacham. It's not talking about the limud Torah. It's the Talmud Chacham though. Just to have him do tasks like that. To be careful with the covet of a Talmud Chacham.
I made a call, bro.
Interesting, Morty. What time is you, Mordcha? I want to hear from Mordcha. Chevra, Mordcha, talk to us.
Mordcha.
I wonder if it's like I was telling Shlomo, I wonder if it's like a disrespect to him, like you should trust him. He didn't have his person would have left with him. It's like you're not ever lets go. Like you're not trusting him.
Wow.
Feel like,
Wow.
with the way.
Maybe.
Maybe he was let's go fight. Half the guys we got up, or he'd be like
Maybe fight whoever follows you.
follows, good.
Maybe.
I don't know if you knew didn't have any soldiers.
His soldiers were could be no. But the Gemara says it. We wouldn't say on our own. You're actually lessening the chet. Vadit's dak menadak, but we have to learn. Tzrichim moment manasa.
You guys feel like they're learners, guys.
A good time, very good time. I like that one. Thousands. Whatever I want to express, Lily, I would never say this on my own. Never. And it's dak menadak, subtle. If I would have been there, I just would have seen Zidkus. You're talking about a hair's breadth, like what Avram Avinu's kavanas we would go crazy from. Avram was kulay tzedkus, kulay Hashem, kulay l'shem shemaim. I'm studying a Gemara that says some ched of Avram Avinu. He took Talmid Chum and he did a menial task with them. And the Gemara calls it a ched, not me. And it means Avram Avinu had cheshbainas like you wouldn't believe. There was some dak menadak, mamish a hair's breadth of 1/1,000,000th of a percentage of something, but I still have to study it. Yeah. Hey. Fascinating Gemaras, no? Okay, there's so much more to learn in Lech Lecha. It is 4:30.
Okay, we're starting.
I want to. We will continue. We're not. We're not done. At 5 o'clock, I want to invite the Chevra. Let's see, maybe we'll continue one more thing. But at 5 o'clock, I want to invite the Chevra. Everybody here. 5 o'clock, we're continuing the Gemara Shir. We've started the 10th parak of Sachim. If you've missed the first week, we'll catch you up. But we're going to continue. Anybody who could join in at 5 o'clock, we'll continue the Gemara Shir, the 10th parak of Sachim. Yisrael, I want to share your thoughts, Yisrael. Wow. Obviously. That would be weird not to, and I promise my kids not to be weird this year. Yeah, you're right. Is there a specific song you want? I have ideas myself. Say, sing something. What type of gathering you don't sing? What's with you, Chevra?
But we had.
You're right. Song is wild, Yisrael. You can't. Song is so powerful. When the yeshiva 13 years ago, when Eli and Danny went after the yeshiva, we were rocked. Song helped us a lot. No joke. In yeshiva, that song, Ki Ata Bali Yeshuas Hashem, you're the source of Yeshuas. Yeshuas means salvation, Zubal Nachamas, and healing. We needed both. Because we had guys very sick, and we needed Yeshuas, and we needed Nachamas. We were broken. We saw a tremendous chesed Hashem. We saw the yeshiva was singing that song. Song is crazy powerful. It was like Ein L'Shayir what song could do. In Hebron, after the Hebron massacre, Arabs came into the yeshiva in Hebron, and the Arabs killed Bahram. I grew up with a guy in Yeshiva Farakwe. I grew up with a Yid who was missing some fingers. He was in Hebron and he was blocking the door, and the Arabs cut off his fingers. I saw this Yid. I grew up with him. He was missing fingers from the Hebron attack. And Yidden were killed from the Hebron attack. The Yeshiva Hebron was rocked. And people say the yeshiva was rocked. The yeshiva was downtrodden. People were depressed. It was crazy. And they say one Friday night they put up a guy to daven for the Amud Bacher. It was Rosh Hashanah. And to ask a Bacher to daven is weird. La'alach, you have to have a married daven. They asked the Bacher with a nice voice, and he got up to Ma'ariv. Don't ever take away your love from us, Hashem. They say they sang for about 45 minutes to an hour, repeating the words over and over. In Litvish yeshivas, that's like Chayav Misa. But they was singing Va'avascha. People in Hebron said it saved the Hebron yeshiva. That song, that Rosh Hashanah night. The whole yeshiva singing, don't ever take away your love. So come up, Shlomo, let's do Va'avascha al Tasik. Come with your guitar, come. Song's powerful, Yisrael. Song's very powerful.
Amazing.
Can we sing, Elio? We can
Elio.
sing zusammen.
What do you think, Elio? Focus on Elio now. Elio, Elio, come on.
Yisrael wants you to sing, so let's go, Chevra. Mechi, Yisrael wants song, Yisrael gets song. You ready, Elio? You ready? You don't have to do the title. We'll do it. I just want to say.
Who asked for the song?
You ready? You ready, Yisrael? Yisrael, good choice. One more song for Yisrael, Joshua. Avi wants you guys to teach us something with Shlomo. Shim, you too, Shim, you too. Dovi, you also Dovi. Dovi, here, Dovi. Dave, Shim. Yes.
It's such a good.
Don't worry, Chaim, shutting it up.